I'm Wade Barnes, and I'm going to cook some fish tonight. There are 3 ways you can cook a fish. You can bake it, you can pan fry it, which is what we're doing right now, and we can also poach it. I've got 3 pieces of fish here, and they are straight off the coast of Atlantic Beach. An important thing to know about fish is to know where they come from. That also deals with any mercury content that they may possess. These are, in fact, quite delectable fish. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put our eye on medium heat. I am using Crisco pure vegetable oil. We're going to go ahead and put a little dab on it after I get the lid off. All right. So, we've got a good film of pure vegetable oil on top of the pan. We're going to let that swirl around a little bit. We want that oil to be hot before we put the fish on it. So this would be a great time to go ahead and season your fish. I season my fish with seasoned salt, onion powder, and black pepper. I have to grind this. It has a grinder on the top. Alright. Getting the oil nice and hot. Should be just about there. So let's go ahead and apply the fish to the pan. We're going to go ahead and put the presentation side first. This side is the side that is closest to the inside of the fish, because the skin side is not the best side. Not the most attractive side to have presented to a person who is eating this fish. So there's the first fish. I already hear that good sizzle. We're going to get the second fish. And the third fish. That sounds good. And this little piece is for me. So you're going to want to put that fish on very gently, just like I did, except that last piece I threw in. So, it's about 2 minutes on each side. This is going to sit here for a good 3 minutes because this is a dense fish. It's a very muscular mackerel. So it's going to take just a little bit longer than a regular 2 minutes to cook. Another important thing about the mercury is that mercury is the same substance that is used in thermometers. That stuff is very toxic. It can accumulate in these fish when presented to a contaminated environment, and it can have many adverse health effects. Let's take a quick look at what a fish should look like when it's on a skillet. So here we have a picture of an undercooked fish. The black signifies each side of the fish, the blue is the veins of the fish fillet, and the red signifies what heat does to blood when it is on a skillet. So the blood's going to start going towards the center when it's cooked on either side. So what we want is this red to completely disappear. And when we have this red disappear, you're going to start seeing fine lines of divided meat. So we have white all the way through the fillet. It is completely cooked. All the bacteria inside the blood and anything that was on the skin has been killed because we've got it cooking at such a high temperature. And so this is exactly what you need to look for when you're trying to cook a fish. And this is the safe way. So we're back. Our fish has been sitting here for a little bit longer than 2 minutes because of the thickness of the fish. It's got that nice brown coating on it, and we're going to find out if it's as nice as I hope it is. So we're going to take this guy right here and just do a nice easy flip. Very gentle now. You do not want to break the fish. A whole fish is a heck of a lot better than half a fish. All right. Got that gorgeous brown top to it. So we flipped our fish. It has got a beautiful brown crust on it, just the way I was hoping for. And now it's cooking the skin side. It's just what we were looking for, and this is called the presentation side. This is the side that the person who's eating is first going to see, and he's going to judge how good the fish is based on how that looks. So we're just going to put that right back on there and set it down. I always like to pat the fish down, because sometimes the fish is not completely flat, so you're going to want an even cook on each side. Okay, so we've got our second side. It's been on there long enough. It's been on there for about 3 minutes. This is the time to start adding a little bit of flavor to the bottom side of the fish. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my butter knife. I'm going to add a little bit of butter to it. Give it a nice creamy taste when you bite into it. And it went everywhere. So be careful when playing with grease. It does get hot and it will spit at you. Another great thing to use is some lemon juice. Some people like taking it out of a lemon. I find that there's more lemons in this bottle. So we're going to try to get that lid off. And we're just going to apply a little bit. We've got our butter, we've got our lemon juice. We're going to make sure that goes all around the fish. We want each fish to taste some of that flavor. And I've already been hit a couple times by these little spouts of grease, so it does get quite painful sometimes, but the time and everybody's like, somebody's got to man up. So, now I made this little itty bit right here. I'm going to set that in the plate because I'm going to taste test this, see just how great this is. So we're going to let that cook. I'm going to cut it down to about 2. So that's about 1/4 heat. Taste the lemon really well. It's got just a little bit longer to cook. It's still got that little bit of fish taste in it. But if you cook it too long, they're going to be burnt and they're going to be tough and it's not going to be fun. So you really want to find that sweet spot when you're cooking fish. So you want to be soft, but not fishy. And I think we've just about reached that here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set these into the plate. All right, I'm going to cut my eye off. Always remember to cut your eye off. Nobody likes to stick their hand on the stove and find out it's still hot. So what we've got here is our 3 pieces of fish. So what I'm going to do is only one side got the butter and the lemon. So what I want to do is I'm going to spoon just a little bit of this grease and put it on each one, because the other side, it just wouldn't be nice to not have season on both sides of the fish. So we've Got our fish are seasoned. It's ready. We got our taste tester. So we've got our fish. A good way to check your fish is to go ahead and take maybe a fork and a knife and cut in it. See if it's still pink, or if it's not, it needs to be white all the way through. That's the characteristic of a good tasting fish. I've got my taste tester here. His name is James, and he's going to try one of these pieces of fish and tell me just how great it is. So we've got here on a fork and knife and a piece of fish. So he's going to go ahead and try it for us and see just what he thinks. It might be a little hot. It's a good fish? Well, we have got success. How about that? And I'm going to end this video with a thanks to all of my little helpers around here and anybody else I forgot. So, y'all have a good night and cook the fish well.